Hey everybody, this is Dr. BJ Hardick. I want to take a little bit of time and talk about my very important article, What Should Baby Drink? Because I get questions from patients and clients and moms all the time, really what the best thing is to feed their baby, both in the cases of whether or not mom's having difficulty with breastfeeding and in the time of weaning and also bottle feeding. So let's just go through a couple of the different options. I mean, first off, you'll see in my article, absolutely, we believe that breast is best. You know, this contains all of the proteins, healthy fats, lauric acid, immunoglobulins that the baby needs. This is the way that I believe the baby should be fed for the first year, and often even beyond 2 years of the baby's lifetime as the baby develops, and we know that this is safe and is used in cultures all around the world. Now, what are the other options though? If mom has difficulty with breastfeeding, if there's an adopted child, you know what, you can look at donor milk, but I would say the same way you want to know what your organic farm is doing, you don't want to just trust the label. If you're looking at donor specific milk, you want to also know as much as you possibly can about the donor. Because then you also need to think about, so what's the mom's diet? Because one of the issues that we often see is issues with cow's milk. I would say this, just about everybody now, if they actually get tested for cow's milk in terms of hypersensitivities and lactose intolerance, just about everybody is going to have some type of difficulty with cow's milk. So the problem that we see is that when moms are consuming cow's milk, when they're lactose intolerant or when they have a difficulty with casein or whey protein or something else, that unfortunately now can definitely affect the baby. And we see all kinds of skin issues, digestive issues, and sleep issues in the baby based on what the mom is consuming. So definitely, I'm not a big fan of conventional cow's milk for the baby. There's plenty of other better options. We would at least look at something that's organic, or obviously if you're in a part of the world where you can consume raw or beta A2 casein as opposed to beta A1 casein. It's a very much healthier form of dairy. You need to look into that, and you need to make sure the mom is consuming that as well. How about goat's milk? The truth is goat's milk is much more digestible than something like a regular cow's milk, so that's a good option. But then we also get into some of these issues of the plant-based milks, like coconut milk, for instance. The truth is, coconut milk actually has a ton of lauric acid, and it does, quite frankly, in many ways, mimic the healthy fat makeup of human breast milk. But the problem is it's missing a lot of other things. So, we would look at things like coconut milk and even as a hemp milk as a good transition milk as babies are weaning from the breast and moving and starting to introduce more solid foods. It's an option, but definitely should not be reused as a replacement. One thing you'll see on my website in a whole other video is if you're gonna look at a formula, really in my experience, unfortunately, it's hard to find a formula that offers everything. So if you're gonna look at a formula, you obviously wanna look at a healthy liquid to which the baby does not have a sensitivity. You want to make sure you're adding in the right things, including the healthy whey protein, the vitamin D, and a lot of the immune factors and probiotics as well. This can be done, but often made at home. Remember, babies can consume breast milk for the first 2 years of life and often beyond the first couple years of life. Just about every parent that I've ever worked with who took the baby off the breast too early really did regret it, because it does have an impact on your child's immune system. So make sure they're getting human breast milk as long as possible in that case, and when necessary, look at some of the other alternatives which we cover on drhardick.com.
Like most people, I've heard of so many different diets. I didn't know what direction to start in. Low fat, high fat, aspartame, you don't know which ones to take and not take. He gave me the answers and I applied it, and I lost 100 pounds in the first year.
Oh, we're having a look at some before and after pictures. Look at you.
Your bone is comprised of 12 different minerals, not just calcium. We've been told for so long we need calcium for our bones, calcium for our bones. However, we also know that excess calcium in the body can be associated with heart failure and hardening of the arteries.